Good evening, my friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing. My Tuesday night special, guys. Today we have two boxes to go and some bangers. We got some bangers, like I said. So sit back, relax. You're going to have some fun when I unbox some great books tonight. Guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And like I said, this is a live CGC unboxing. We have some really big books tonight. We're also going to talk a little bit about the X-Men because a couple of the books that I have here today are actually X-Men books. And I want to talk a bit about later on when the unboxing's over. We'll spend 5 or 10 or 15 minutes going over whether or not the X-Men will be what it takes to bring the MCU back. So if you have any opinions on that, my friends, sit back, wait. When we get to that segment, you can, of course, participate in our live chat. And if you want to participate in our live chat, if you have any questions about comic book pressing, CGC grading, any of that sort of stuff, you can always ask those questions free of charge right here in our chat room. But all you have to do to participate is you have to subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do that right now. And while you're at it, hit the like button too. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, let's get started, guys. Overhead cam is queued up and ready to go. First book we have is a Thor 168 in a 9.0. An off-white. Because we have two boxes, guys, I'm going to try to zip through these today as much as I can. We got quite a few people already in the chat room. Okay, well, here we go. This is not a pretty book. We'll talk a bit about this. I'm going to talk about it now. Let's see. Here we got X-Men number 1 and a 0.5. And if we go over to our... Let's see if this is going to work or not. I wonder if this is going to work. I got GPA. I had GPA kind of queued up. Let's see if this will work. We can see what this book's worth. Because I'm really curious, actually, to see what this book's worth. I think it's over here somewhere. Right there. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's see. I'll go over to GPA. And we'll go to... I'll type X-Men number 1 right there. And let's go see what a 0.5 is going. This book has dropped. All books have dropped, my friends. But let's go down and see what a 0.5 is going for. 0.5. Oh, right down at the very bottom here. Look at 3,000 US. The last one sold for 3,000 US in July, I believe, right? July where is it? 0.5 right there. Yeah, July. So it was a few months back. So the book could have softened some more. Any other recent sales? Around there? No. There's no. September 23, another 0.5. A front cover missing sold for 1,500. So a coverless one sold for 1,500, as you can see right here. So yeah, not bad. Now this one here, guys, when it came to me, you always have that question. Do we press this sucker? Do we try to make it look a little bit better? I could have made this book look better. But would it have actually changed the grade of the book? And you know what? Probably not. The book was pretty far gone. There's no mention of tape on this or anything. I don't believe there is. No, I don't believe there is, which is great. And I did not want to have to introduce tape if I didn't have to. Here's the back of the book, guys. You know, you got some staining and what have you. But the book is complete. It's all there. This is Carlo's book, actually. And when he gave it to me, there was actually, you know what? There is tape here because there was a chunk here missing. Well, a chunk was removed, and I put it back together with some acid-free tape, so it would stay together. They made no mention of it, obviously because it's a 0.5. They didn't bother, but I didn't want to kind of bombard the book with tape. I've done that before for other clients where I put the book back together basically using acid-free tape, and usually get about a 1 maybe. Maybe it would have been worth doing. But some guys don't like lots of tape on their books. So, you know what? Carlo didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. I don't blame him. It's a nice 0.5, full copy right here. Beautiful. So congratulations, Carlo. I think that's what you're looking for, a 0.5. And he was really hoping to get that blue label. And a 0.5, you usually get a blue label no matter what. Unless there's like pieces, like big chunks of the book missing. Okay. So here it is again, guys. I don't think I showed you the back of it, did I? There you go. That's the back of it right there. Let's see what else we have. Ouch. And here's another one of Carlo's book. Now this one, I'm happy to report, was also a Universal Blue label. Happy it came back a 7.0. Now this book had some white, I guess it was whiteout, like liquid paper or whiteout, or they were trying to hide stuff on the inside front cover. So we scraped that away. And I guess it did the trick because it did not come back purple label like Restored or Color Touch, which was fantastic. I'm trying to get that glare out of there. Why is there so much glare today? So great that you had a 7.0 blue. Congratulations on that one too, Carlo. That's awesome. Let's see what else we have. We've got a Conan the Barbarian number 23 in an 8.0. We've got a Conan the Barbarian 24 and an 8.5. It's a nice copy. We got an ASM 135, second appearance of the Punisher in a 9.2. I think these are Warren's books, if I remember correctly. I think they're Warren's books. Come on. There we go. My stack's getting high, which means I'll be going over to the chat room shortly. We also have a 9.8 NYX3. Great to see. This might have been a crack and resub, I believe, but I'm not sure. I'll put these babies away. I'm running out of room here. Let's go over to the chat room and see who's here really quickly, and then we'll get back to this. Again, we have 2 boxes today, guys. Not even done, what, 6 books maybe? So let's go to the chat room. Where is the chat room? There it is. Okay. Oh, gotta close that off. There we go. All right, let's see who's here. John was the first in the room today. How you doing? Rob's here as well. Snicked, he says, because of that, because of Wolverine. Treasury says evening. How you doing? Warren's here as well. Morning. Where the heck are you, Warren? Dave's here. The P-Man's here as well. How you doing? Arranger for Collectors. Signed comic books. If sent to PSA for verification, then sent to the doc for clean and press. Is that feasible? Signed comic books. If sent to PSA. Oh, I see. Sure. But then what? Yeah, PSA will verify a signature on anything, a photograph, a piece of paper, a comic book, what have you. But then what are you going to do with that? You're not going to grade it after, are you? If you grade it, it will still come back, according to CGC, it'll still come back a, what do you call it? It'll still come back qualified because it was not verified, right? Sam's here. How you doing? I like the Tuesday shows. I get the plan. You know what? That's what. This is all James's fault. The real Hyperion. He says, dude, just do a show once a week and then maybe branch off, but just do a show consistently every week. So I'm going to try that, and maybe it'll help with the YouTube analytics too. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. But thank you, Sam. Bat says, hey, me too. Doing my cooking for the next few days while watching. Excellent. If an X-Men film flips, I think it means disaster for the current MC. Flops, yeah. It might just very well be. And that's what I want to talk about today. But we'll get to that later. We'll get there soon. How you doing, Jay Wolfgang? Good to see you. John says, like the hit button. What? Yeah, that's a good idea. Joey says, hey, Doc, how's it going? It still is a sexy book at a 0.5. Hey, man, I think so, too. I was kind of browsing through the X-Men prices. Boy, I can't believe they've almost, like, I have a 4.5 that's like around 10 grand now, but it was like 18 US at one point. It's unbelievable how much these books have dropped in value. Will they come back? I don't know. We got a Swamp Thing, number 1, and a 7.5. I'm going to keep moving, guys. We got an ASM 194. Nice copy of the first Black Cat. I can't speak tonight, guys. The only problem, 9 o'clock might be too late for me. I have a hard time getting the words out. In a 9.2 white pager. It might have been a little rough on this one, I think. We also have another ASM. And this one here's in a 9.4. So 2 first Black Cats. One's a 9.2, one's a 9.4. Both white pagers. Got a Fantastic 449 and a 5.0. Come on. We have a Crime Suspense Stories, number 8 and a 5.0. A 7.5 copy of Green Lantern 30. It's a pretty book. Wow. Why did that not get an 8? This is a nice looking book. Why did this not get an 8? Am I missing something here? Look at this one. This is gorgeous. Unless I'm missing something, I could even see that it is an 8.5 or maybe even a 9. Pretty book. You know, it goes in waves, guys. Sometimes, you know, for a while there, it seems like they were grading kind of easily. Now they're grading a little more stringently, it seems. I'm seeing some books like even, I mentioned that Hulk 181 last week. It came in today, and the owner came to pick it up, and we're looking through it. We're like, this is an 8.5, maybe even a 9 all day long. And they're really hard. They're getting a little bit more stringent again. We've got an Air Pirates Funnies #1 from 1971 at a 9.0. Come on, I think my stack's getting too high here. Okay, I better go back to the checks. My stack's too high. Bad Hombre still GPA. What? Is it GPA screen still? It shouldn't be. I'm going to read up here. Okay, good. It looks like it was fixed. All right. If the screens aren't right, guys, just pipe up and let me know, and I'll fix it. But I think everything's cool now. What happened it? I don't know. PhD and noob. Hey, Doc. Brad Koski. Nice books. Warren. Yes, sir. It's 9 and 9.2, unfortunately. What are we talking about? Warren, which books are we talking about? Logan says, "What's up, Kevin? Some great books so far. Yeah, pretty books. A lot of these books, I think, belong to Warren, my friends. And if I understand correctly, Warren, these books are for sale. A lot of these books. I'm not sure exactly which ones are Warren's here, but Warren is in the chat. If any of these books are appealing to you, tap him on the shoulder. Warren also does, or is it weekly or bi-weekly sales over on Facebook? So you want to give Warren, his name is right there, Warren Meredith. Give him a follow on Facebook. And he does sales, like I said, every week or two. It's Canada Canuck. Help me, Warren. What's the name of your Facebook group again? Canada Canuck Comics, I think, or something like that. And you can follow him when he's doing his sales. He had a sale last week as well. We're trying to get the numbers up for his sales there, so go on over and follow him. We also have... Okay, I got to put these guys away here. Hold on. My sleep pattern's off. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, good morning. Oh, for yellow... Yeah, you won't get a yellow label, Ranger 4 collectors. You will not get... Unless CGC actually has a witness watching the signature being put onto a book, you will never get a yellow label from CGC. Whether PSA verifies it or whatever. Just ain't happening. So... Yeah, if you want it to be verified, you're better off just to use CBCS's service. They'll do a verification, and that's that. But yeah, if there is a signature on a book already and has not been witnessed by a CGC authorized facilitator and witness, then the book unfortunately will not get that yellow label. Okay? Canada Racers here. Hey, Kevin, it's Jeremy. That NYX is mine, and we got the 9.8. Nice work. I thought my Conan's would have been higher, but hey, that NYX makes it up worth it. Oh, excellent. Good. Oh, okay, good to hear it. All right. Warren's is mine or the UPC. I don't think there's more doubles in here, though, but yeah, cool. All we can do is try, but yeah, Jeremy, glad to get that NYX, that 9.8, man. We get good luck with those 9.8 NYX books. We tend to have good luck with those. Treasures, hey Doc, nice books tonight. Regarding the Black Friday sale this weekend, does the pressing discount apply to any submissions made online on Saturday? Yes. So if you do a submission form on Saturday, and say you can't be in the shop on Saturday, fill out your form on Saturday, and put Black Friday on it, write it in. But I got to get those books within a month. All right, guys? I'm not going to give Black Friday discounts 6-7 months from now. So if you've got books you want to do and you want that discount on the pressing, just do the submission form, on Saturday, and then when you print it out, in big back, put Black Friday on there so I remember, because I might forget. And then as long as the books come in within a reasonable amount of time, of course, I will honor the discount. Okay? Not a problem. All right, let's keep going here. We got Air Pirates, #2, Funnies #2 and a 9.4. Right here. We have an ASM 124 and a 9.0. Nice book. We got a Ghost Rider number 1 in an 8.0 as well. And a Fantastic Four annual number 6 in an 8.0. A note on CGC, boy, they are really being slow with their modern books again. Something's up. The last batch of modern books I got was sent to me in error. They were supposed to go straight to Bart in New York City. They are here, and I'm going to turn them around and send them right back to him as soon as I hear back from CGC. But I'm noticing the modern books are not coming out as quick. They're churning them out pretty quickly. Some of you guys that sent me in those pre-screens, you'll remember, they were coming back pretty quick. Well, all of a sudden, they've kind of slowed things down. So I don't know what's up with that. If there's any conventions going on or what. I don't know. But things have slowed down slightly. We got Captain America number 117 and a 7.5. White Pager, first appearance of the Falcon. We have another Conan number 24 and a 9.4. And a Conan number 23 and a 9.0. There. And then we have... nice. We've got, talk about signature series. We have Shintaro Keigo Peach Momoko. Where's the signature? Where'd she sign? Oh, I guess right there. And 9.8. That's James's book. I've been waiting for that one. It's a pretty cool book. It's a small size book there. As you can see, they make it fit in the regular size slab. White page, 9.8. Congratulations, Jim. That's the last one of your books I think we've been waiting for. And it was signed on, to give you an idea, October the 10th, this book was signed. And I'm getting it back right now. So there it is. Right there. And last but not least, the owner of this book, I think, was texting me this today, and here it is. TMNT number 1, third print in a 9.2. So here it is. Glad it came back. I've been waiting for a while for this one. This one's been out there for a bit as well. But it is back. They're a little, oh, is that oh, man. I see this giant line across the bottom. He's going to be so happy that his book is back and it's going to go straight back to CGC. Look at that crack. Holy cow. They sent it in a giant magazine box. The only magazine in that box, and it comes back damaged. It seems like I'm getting at least 1 or 2 per submission now. That sucks. All right, let's go back to the chat room. Ow. Paper cut. Let me go back to the chat room while I put these babies away and then get you ready for the next box. I'm not sure whose stuff's in there. Okay. Let's go back to the chat room here. Excuse me. Oh, just jumped there a little bit. Treasury Edition, hey dog, did that. Oh yeah, Brad's here. Hearing MCU wants to gender so I just talked about that today at my shop. It was nice to see Dave today from Cobra Comics. Dave, that's another guy you got to follow, my friends. If you guys have, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, check out Cobra Comics. Dave's got a lot of really. If you're looking for high-end books, Dave's got them, man. He's got lots. I might even do a sale with Dave in February, but they're big books. I'm talking like, FF1s and, X-Men 1s and things like that. So I might do a sale like that with Dave in February, but check out Cobra Comics with a K. That's Dave. But he was in the shop today with Ron, and Ron was picking up that awesome Matt Baker book that I showed you guys last week. And we were talking about Silver Surfer. I think he's got something like 10 issue copies of number 48. And then I mentioned that as well, that they are talking. Well, there was talk. And whether this could have been some kind of a sick joke, gender swapping the Silver Surfer from, to a male, from male to female, which would be absolutely stupid. Considering there are female heralds. Just give us a female herald. Why do you got to Why do you got to change that character, you know? Anyway, so hopefully that's a rumor. Hopefully that's not true, Brad, because that would really suck. Eric says, don't look at it as having dropped in value. Look at it as period of time where comics exceeded beyond the realm of normal. If your book in 2018 is still worth more in 2023, that's a win. It is. Listen, yeah, we had that conversation too. We were talking about how the dip is pretty heavy right now. You know, you all heard about that Superman #1 that sold last week. I think the book sold for $700,000 a couple years back. The same book, or $750 US, it just sold for $300,000 on Friday at Heritage. So that book took a bath, like it got killed. So the value, a Superman #1, man, it's not like a common book. This book really went down in value. So that's really got to tell us something about what's going on out there in this market. It's a really turbulent market. If you don't have to sell your books right now, I don't think it's a wise thing to sell your books right now. Just hang on to them, put them away. If you can. If you have to, you have to, right? And if you got bills to pay and you got to move the books, then move the books. But I mean, not everybody's in that position where they have to. Don't. Like, again, you know, hindsight's 20/20. If I can go back 2 years, I'd sell every single big book I have. If I can go back, I could buy them all now for half the price. But, you know, what can we say? We can't all have... Yeah, I laugh at that. That's kind of funny thing, too. You know, people, you know, Kevin, you know, what kind of grades? If I could determine... People say, crack these books. Will they come back 9/8? Or what do you think the grades these books are going to be? You know, I could give my best guess of what a book's going to be. I've got some experience. I think I know what books are going to come back. Sometimes I'm off the mark completely. Sometimes I miss something, or I just the book looks better than in my eyes and perhaps a grader's eyes. But if these peepers could guarantee 9.8, I would shut my doors, guys, and I would just do my own books and send them all to Heritage or to Comic Link or to whatever, and just sit back and let the money roll in. It's not. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Everyone would be doing it. It's not as easy as, you know, to figure the trick out. It's just, you could do your best, right? I mean, there's some guys, I mean, you know, Bad Hombre's here cooking his dinner there, and he's got a great eye. He can pick books, and he's had some great success picking out books that come back 9.8, and many other guys do too. Sometimes I have that eye. Sometimes I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, what can you do? All we can do, my friends, is try. Okay, that was box number 1. Let's go to box number 2. We got a few... Yeah, we got several invoices here, so we got a few more. So let's do this right now. Look, I got tons... So if people say, oh, is that my book? I have no idea. I've got all these invoices here. Charlie's going to have to sort that for me. All right, here we go. Another full box. We start off with one of my favorite covers again. It's a 7.0 ASM 119. All right. With a nice scratch on the slab. And they won't fix this scratch. There's a scratch, a little scratch, a hairline scratch there. They're not going to fix that. I don't believe they will. I don't believe they will. Anyways, it's got to be a crack. It's got to be a damaged slab. Otherwise, they're not going to bother. 7.0, beautiful book. We got an 8.5 copy of Conan the Barbarian #1. I believe this is Warren's. Is this Warren's? Is it Warren's? Let's see. I think it is. I'm not 100%, guys. I'm not 100%. Anyways, 8.5. We got an ASM 50. Nice copy and a 6.5. Very nice. First appearance of the Kingpin, as we all know. We also have Tomb of Dracula, number 18, in an 8.5. We got a Incredible Hulk annual 1. Now, is this the one that me and Logan were talking about? I don't know. I have to check the numbers later. Freaking gorgeous book. It's got, yeah, a little there, but beautiful book nonetheless. 8.0. If this is the book I'm thinking, see, here we go. This is a perfect example. If this is Logan's book, and I think this one is, I'm not 100%. You know, we were guesstimating this book was going to be 9 plus. 9 plus. And here we get it, comes back in 8.0. Right? So, is it us? Is it us, you know, putting... getting all excited and think, oh, this book's got to be, and we kind of will it, we want it to be, and maybe it doesn't have the goods to follow through. I don't know, but the book pressed out beautiful. It's got it's got a little bit of worn edge down there, but still an 8. I don't know. And the back of this book's really nice too, I believe, if I remember correctly. Look at that. Very strange, very, very strange indeed, and very disheartening sometimes. But sometimes I think, like I did with that modern book that one time, and I hate doing it. It's really aggravating, where we send them back. I've sent books back. And I'll tell you, sometimes when we send books back, the grade does come back the same. Sometimes the grade goes up, and sometimes it goes up significantly, like a whole point and a half, 2 points. I don't know, man. It's a human being doing this, right? So there's only so much you can do. 6.5 for A Tomb of Dracula #1. I have music in the background. I just stopped for some reason, which is really weird. You guys can hear me okay, right? Let's see. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, where are we here? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I think we're back on. All right, we also have A Tomb of Dracula, first appearance of Blade in a 3.5. Brad was talking about making the Silver Surfer into a female character. 100%. This is actual true. I believe this was even like in some of the trades from Hollywood. The Blade movie, as it was written, had 4 lead female characters, and Blade was going to be a background player, like a side bit character. The movie's called Blade. Don't get me started on that. But that's what they had planned. I even heard, maybe you heard this too, that the Fantastic Four, they were going to start, they were going to make, 3 women and a man. Human Torch a female, Ben Grimm a female, and then of course, I guess they could have done all 4 females too if they wanted to, but they were talking about that too. Yeah, it's crazy. Who's I listen? You guys, have you ever had a chance? Another guy I listen to on here. If you guys like the movies and are kind of frustrated with how the movies are going and have been going the last few years, you want to check out Nerd Erotic. Nerd Erotic, just as it sounds. He is great, and he did a great video the other day talking about how Marvel and Star Wars have been trying to take boy brands and turn them into female brands, right? And to girl brands, and how it was a bad mistake. It's a bad thing to do. So you take boy brands, turn them into female brands, hoping that the females are going to like these brands, but they don't. The girls don't like them, and the boys don't like them. But the girls and the boys liked what it was originally. So yeah, But anyways, he does some real deep dives. It's pretty good. I don't like when Nerdrotic does his like open table where he has like 10 guys on there and they're just yelling and complaining about it. I just like when he does these little editorials, these one-man editorials talking about these topics, and I like those. When he does that, it's like 15 minutes long. I enjoy listening to that. So give him a listen. Nerdrotic. He's pretty good. He actually coined the phrase M, she, you. If you've ever heard that phrase before, it was him. He's the one who did it. Okay, we got a Hulk 181 right here. Another one. Boy, oh boy. Like every show we got a Hulk 181. This is a 4.5 right there. And we have, what's going on here? We got an ASM 129 8.5 with color touch. A small amount of color touch on cover, so it says. I'm trying to see if I can see any color touch, and I certainly don't. Anyways, there it is, an 8.5 copy, so I'll have to investigate that a little more. Wow, look at this one. We got a nice copy of Iron Fist 14 in a 9.2 white pager. First appearance of Sabretooth. That's a nice looking book. We also have a nice copy of X-Men 266, direct copy. First appearance of Gambit. All right. Cool mishmash of stuff here. We got first appearance of Iron Fist, Marvel Premiere 15. Right here. Now, this is a book that I've been wanting to get. A 9.8 just sold. Wow, I hit myself in the face. A 9.8 just sold of this a couple of weeks back on eBay for like $3,000. 9.8. See, I think that's a sleeper. That is. I think Iron Fist is a cool character. They have not been developed yet. That's one I would like to pick up in a 9/8. Or, oh, that sound. Let me see. I heard a kind of a cracking sound. Let's make sure everything's okay here. I got to make sure these friggin' slabs are good. 14 days, all the time they give us. All right. And then we have did we do this one already? I think we did this one already, right? We did this one, right? Yeah, we did. Okay. Put that back. Let's go back to the chat room for a sec, and I'll finish us off with that. This box. We're on box number 2, guys. We're just getting here. Box number 2. We got another probably 15 books or so to go. A real mishmash of stuff. Some modern vintage books here. So if that's your bag, stick around. These are my books for sure now. I cannot believe we got a 5 on the FF49. Amazing, Kevin. ASM 194s were where I thought they'd be. Good. ASM 135. Good to hear it, Canada Racer. Sam says, sometimes graders have a bad day. They do. Everyone does. And, Frank's here. How you doing, Frank? Good to see you. Warren says, there it is. Canada Canuck Comics and Auctions and Sales. So get on to your, I get on there. And I think what Warren's trying to do on there is he's trying to avoid having any yo-yos show up to his sales. So he's put restrictions on it. So you have to be approved to jump in. But that's okay. That way you get real bidders and people that really want to be there. But you want to check because he's got a real great variety of books for sale. And he's got lots of books coming back from CGC constantly. So, Warren, when's your next sale going to be? Do you know? Let's tell everybody here. And again, go on over to his Facebook page. Again, it's called Canada Canuck Comics Auctions and Sales. And give him a follow. And when he posts the next sale, you'll be the first to know. And you can jump in there and get a good deal with Warren. Ranger 4 Collector, no problem, my friend. No problem, Warren. Sam says, sometimes graders have a bad day. I saw an episode of Comic Book Investments where he cracked some books, sent them into CGC without doing anything, and most came back a higher. I've seen that too. So again, guys, if you are dead set, you feel like, listen, this book was undergraded, you got to pay again. It sucks. It sucks, but it happens. Frank says, hey, Kev, did you send out my books? Looking forward to the Hulk radio. It's at CGC right now, my friend. That box has been there since last Thursday, I believe, and they finally opened the box today. So, yeah, it is there, Frank. It is there. And you have another order ready to go to CGC, too. We're just finishing up 1 or 2, and then your order is going to go. Actually, we're finishing up that Star Wars Boba Fett issue 69, is it? I think it is. I always forget the number. And then we're sending them off. I'm actually going to probably start doing CGC, guys. Well, I shouldn't say this. I've been trying to do CGC weekly, and it's been killing me. To be honest, it's been killing me. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just, as the books are getting done, I'm going to, every other day or so, do some submissions. When a box is full, off it goes. That's how I'm not going to have a schedule where it's once a week or every other week. I'm just going to, sometimes they'll go twice a week. Sometimes they'll go every other week. When the box is ready to go, it goes. But I can tell you, seriously, 99% of the books I do go to CGC. Everybody wants the books graded. Most, and if I don't send them to CGC, people sometimes have their own account and they want to do it themselves. They're still going to go to CGC. I'm not sending them. But I do have a couple of guys who they just don't do CGC. They just want the books done. And that's fine too. But most guys, CGC. Eric says, maybe these Conans or Jeremy's higher grades. I'm not sure. Canada Racer, Kev, you overproduced on every book. You are a magician. And there was another Conan 23, which is higher than what I thought. Thank you. And the team, well done. So happy right now. Canada, no problem. Thank you. Thanks for submitting your books, Canada Racer. We do our best. Let's hope CGC are not starting with the cracks again. No. I hope not. Look, it's going to happen. I don't mind one here, one there. I don't like 25 here and 25 there. That'll be done. If I was one of those shareholders for Disney, I'd be raising somehow. I don't know what the hell's going on over there at Disney. I don't know. I think you've got a lot of suits who try to give ideas. I always think back to that Spider-Man 3 that came out where they shoehorned Venom in there. And Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in that movie. It wasn't supposed to be in that movie, but we want Venom. He's popular. Put him in. And they did, and it jeopardized the actual quality of the movie. So, yeah, it's writing. It's all about the writing. Just give us a damn good story and stop effing with these characters that everyone knows and loves, and make us happy. Make the fans, the real fans, happy, because if we're happy, we're going to promote. We're going to take our kids. We're going to tell our friends. We're going to promote. It's when you start screwing us, when you start, listen, I'm not taking it personally, but when you start taking the characters we love and you start, turning Silver Surfer into a girl or whatever they've been doing. It's been awful. Politics, woke nonsense in movies. Stop it. Most of the guys, the core guys who like this stuff are our age. We don't dig with that stuff. Just give us the stories as they're supposed to be. And they're better that way. Let's be honest. They're better that way. Sorry to tell you. Anyways, let's keep going here. Logan says that's the one. Okay. Talking about the Hulk annual one. Brad says, I remember when Disney was buying up movie rights and everyone was cheering. My buddy would tell me fans will regret it and appreciate the Fox X-Men after they see what Disney does to. We're going to talk about the Fox X-Men very soon, actually, in just a few moments here. I was cheering too. I was cheering when they bought Star Wars. Because I thought that we were going to get a lot of Star Wars content, a lot of content. And sometimes a lot of content isn't necessarily a good thing, right? And that's unfortunately what they killed. They killed the ultimate brand, Star Wars. They killed it. Can't believe they killed it. But anyways, they did. And they killed Marvel too. They're killing it, stabbing it over and over and over again. Brad says, it's third-party perspective. The good old days of very fine dinner month are long gone. Yeah, it's one or the other. Karen Racer says, question on the Conan 2024. I knew mine were like 994. I'm assuming the batches that are sent to CG to show what they were graded to, so there is no confusion. I've explained this before. Warren, I don't know if that's your book or not. I hope not. I'm not sure. Guys, all I have, I can show you right here. I'll use a couple of these as an example so you know. And I've gone through this before. When we send books to CGC, you can have 5 copies of ASM 300, for example, all belonging to different people. I don't put them all on the same invoice. I don't think anybody's name's on here. So let me give you an example. Right here. So this is somebody's invoice right here. Of course, no one's name's on there. It's just mine. So you'll notice right there the 2 comic books. Now, I could put 25 books on here. I don't do that. Because I don't want to mix anybody's books up. So what we do is everybody gets their own invoice. So I have your books. I stack your books together. And everybody gets their own invoice. And everyone gets their own, right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right here. Your own invoice number. Right there. Can you see that? And that invoice number is your certification number on your book. So this one's like 434-6854-001-002, right? So if I had another ASM 300 or 3 other ASM 300s that belong to different people, they would have different serial numbers on those. And those relate back to, I don't have any here right now. Let's see. Oh yeah, right here. I'll use Carlos. They relate back to my dossier, which I have for everybody. And as you can see here, I put the codes on here too. I put the invoice. This number here will relate back to the comic. I hope I'm making sense, but that's how it goes. Now, once the books, I pack everyone's books. I don't mix people's books together either, right? I mean, if you have one book, I'll sometimes put your one book with a bigger book, and I do that on purpose because I don't want to lose the one book. And it's happened before. You guys know that. I find if the books come in bundles, there's less chance of them losing the books or mixing the books up when they get to CGC. But the book, I'll never mix a book in. Like I won't put 2 Hulk 181s together. I won't put 2 ASM 300s together. I'll put a vintage with a stack of moderns, for example. And it makes no difference anyway because everybody has their own invoice form. And if you're coming into the shop, Karen Racer to pick your stuff up. I can show you everything. I can show you all the paperwork, and you'll see what I mean. Now, in the old days, when I first started doing CGC, because they were not shipping the books back to me multi-ship, I had to pack 25 moderns or 25 high value or 25 standards into one box. I would combine people's orders. But that became very, very scary. And so if I did send, for example, 2 ASM 300s, one that belonged to me and one that belonged to you, I would basically write notes on my invoices and say, Kevin's is the lower grade one. Kevin has a small tear on it over here. So I would know when the book came back, which was mine and which was yours. But that's like 10 years ago I was doing that. And I hated doing that. So, and I also did that to save a little bit of money for my clients. Because, CGC charges an invoice fee for every single invoice you create. But screw it. I fought with CGC. I said, I need you to combine my orders together. No more. I want you to ship everything back to me, whether it's a high value, a standard, a magazine. They got to come back in one box. And they after a little bit of fighting with them, they did that. I don't know if anybody else has that. I know I have that benefit with them. I'm sure other people do too. And everybody has their own dossier now, and everyone has to pay their own invoice fee. Even if you have one book in the invoice, you're paying that invoice fee. It's just so I can keep everybody's orders organized. Yeah. Now, whose are these? These are over here. I don't want to lose those. I need those, or we won't be able to find them. And Warren was asking about that 129. Now, Warren, did your 129 have that white along the edge? I don't remember the white, the miscut there. I don't know if it did or not. If it did, it might be. We'll have to have a look at it. Nikki Blaze says, hey, Kev, I dropped off some books at the beginning of August. Any idea when I can expect them? The invoice? Any day. We are going, if it's at the beginning of August, they should be either almost done or done. I have about, Nikki, what's your first real name? So I got a stack of invoices here I'm working on, actually. But what's your first real name? Cannon Race says, it does. I knew my Conans were solid. Just a few books to go. Can't wait no matter what. My ROA doing this work with you is silly good. You are beyond awesome. Thank you, man. Thanks, Karen Race. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. We do our best. Okay. We got some more books to share with you. Did I show this one yet? Did I show the Swamp Thing one yet? No, Okay, I showed those. Oh, yeah. I don't think I showed these yet. All right, here we go. Swamp Thing number 1. Again, I don't know. I think this is your book. I believe it is. This is Warren's in a 9.0. I think in a 9.0. Again, I don't like to say this is so-and-so's book because it might not be. Until I get them actually sorted, I don't like to do that. I've done that before, and I got myself in trouble. That's not my book, and it wasn't. So I think it is. I know Warren's got some books mixed in here. I'm just not sure whose is who exactly. So we got a Swamp Thing 1 and a 9.0 white pager. It's pretty cool. We also have an 8.0 Conan the Barbarian number 1. I know we have an 8.5 as well over there. I just showed you. This is an 8.0. I can tell if it's... Yeah, now this one here is Warren's, because I know it had that... I showed you that damage up in the top left, Warren. It came back at 8.0 white pager, though. Not bad. See, another ASM 129, Warren. And I'm not sure, this one also has the white wrap, and it's an 8.5. Did we put a custom label on yours? That might be a determining factor. I don't remember. I don't have your paperwork right in front of me. So right there, 8.5, white page. That's a pretty book. We also have another ASM 300 in a 9.6 with a custom Venom label. We have an ASM 194, a newsstand edition with that awesome black cat custom label in a 9.2. We got a 4.5 copy of ASM 16 in 4.5, again with another custom label right there. Pretty. And yet another ASM. There's 3 ASM 129s right there. One was an 8.5 Resto, another was 8.5 Universal. We got a 5.0 right here, Universal as well. And that is there. All right, my stack is high. Let me go back over in really quickly. I'm going to try to pack these up quickly for you guys. Nicholas. Did I see your name here? Let's see. I'll see really quick, Nick, if I see it here. Come on. No, I don't see an invoice there for you, Nick, but it's probably coming very soon. I know, like I mentioned in the last couple of shows, we found a box of August books that I forgot. I thought they were like September, and they were like late September, and they were August books. We already started going into September. We had to finish what we were doing and then go back to these August books. But they should be pretty close to getting done. I know we're like, I think I went to the middle of August. Maybe we are in the middle of August. I got to check tomorrow. But yeah, it'll be any day. It shouldn't be much longer, Nick. I don't want to ask your last name, but I think I know which ones are yours. I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to. Okay, what else we got here? Warren and I have the same books. Either I have a 7.5 or a 9. I guess a 7.5. So disappointment. You guys got a few of the same books. You do. All right. We also have another 9.8. Warren, you weren't alone last week. I've been seeing more of these, and I'm happy to see it, which is pretty cool. Another ASM 300 in a 9.8. I know Warren got one last week. Another one there right now. All right. We also have an Invincible Iron Man 55 and a 7.0. I need a copy of this. Last time I said that, Frank sold me some First Black Bolt. I got to be careful. We also have, it's a nice copy here of 8.5 copy of X-Men 94. Right there. Boom. And then we have a 9.8 copy. Don't know whose these belong to, but congrats. Not just one 9.8 first appearance of Deadpool. Another 9.8 Deadpool. So yeah, that's it. Those are the boxes. 2 boxes right there. Only one cracked book from what I could see. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Brouhaha's here as well. How you doing? Treasure, don't forget to hit and like. Thank you very much, Treasury Edition. I certainly appreciate that. I think so. Custom, but more. We'll find out soon. No Vengeance of Bane. No, there's not. Like I said, for some reason, the modern books, they're really slow with them right now. You're getting all these other books back, but the modern books, they are slowing right down, which is really strange because the modern books for a long time there were really quite quick. So, look, once I finish up putting these away, I can start talking about it right now, I guess. I want to talk a little bit about... I need a 9.6 New Mutants for my personal collection. Why don't you want a 9.8? That's what I thought. Well, there's 2 here, so I don't know if they're for sale or not. Guys, if anybody has a 9.8 copy of New Mutants 98 you'd like to sell, give Frank a call. Frank's just said he's looking for one. So, there it is. Yeah. If you guys ever talk to each other on here and you'd like to make a deal with each other and you need references, I'm happy. If I've dealt with you, not if I just talked to you on here, if I met you, if I know you, if I've dealt with you, and you want like references back and forth, happy to help. But again, if you guys trade, and do your own thing, what happens out there happens. It's not, I don't get involved with that sort of stuff, but I'm happy to talk to you guys if you have any questions about each other and you want to, it's modern. It's modern, Warren. I don't know what's going on. I've been noticing the moderns. I'm going down. I got a few of my own moderns. I've been sitting there for 2.5, 3 weeks. They're not coming back. So I don't know what's happening. I seem to be getting all the vintage books back quickly. I don't know. But we'll just keep an eye on. I'm sure more books are probably on their way back. Though, again, the last set of modern books I got back was for Bart. They were sent back to me in error. So I had to send those back to Bart very, very soon. Okay. Oh, thanks very much, Astro Lucky. I'm glad you enjoy it. So I told you some heavy hitters, guys. Some heavy hitters tonight. Some real bangers. We got more bangers coming back. We had some big books last week. I got a real banger, a super huge banger coming back probably in about a week and a half. It just went out today. It should be back probably in about a week or so. Because it's a big one. It's a big one. So it's a golden age one. If you've been following me on Instagram, you might know what I'm talking about. All right, my friends, let's talk, shall we? Really quickly. Let's talk a bit about this team right here and the X-Men. We were talking about really quickly whether or not this is the franchise to bring the X-Men back, to bring the MCU back, to kind of find their way back. They announced a long time ago that they would be starting from scratch with the X-Men. They were not going to be using the Fox generation of X-Men, the Hugh Jackman, the Patrick Stewart or whoever, right? But it seems that they are actually going back on that, and they're starting to lean into the X-Men that we are familiar with. It started out with Hugh Jackman taking on the role of Wolverine once again. He said he wasn't going to, but he's playing Logan again for the Deadpool movie. And I'm going to spoiler alert right now for the Marvels, guys. At the end of the Marvels, in the post-credit scene, ears plugged if you don't want to hear it, they brought us Kelsey Grammer's Blue Beast, the furry beast. So it does seem like Kevin Feige and the crew over at Disney Marvel are bringing in their X-Men universe, not starting from scratch, not giving us new actors and whatever, but going back to the trough with the old X-Men character. Is that a good idea? Is that a good idea? Because let's face it, those X-Men movies, some were quite good. I would say most were pretty forgettable, I thought. Anyways, I liked a few of them. I particularly liked the Days of Future Past episode movie. After that, though, I wasn't much a fan, to be honest. I didn't like the young actors they brought in to replace a lot of the key players, and the Age of Apocalypse was terrible, I thought. So, is it a wise idea to go back and use this franchise that's already been established through Fox and is just kind of transport it over or transplant it over to the MCU? Again, shoehorn it in. Is that a wise idea? I don't know. Prior to the X-Men coming to the MCU, I was excited to see a new team with new players, a new Professor X, a new Wolverine. And they're not giving us that now. So I am kind of nervous. I'm going to sneeze. Whew, you want to hear that one. I'm nervous. I think the Deadpool thing is going to be fun. I think we all love Hugh Jackman as Logan. The movie Logan was fantastic. But let's face it, he's not spring chicken, right? Hugh Jackman's late 50s now, I think. How long can he play this character for? And then what do you do when you want to replace him? I don't know. I think it's a bad idea. Brad says the thing is with Fox X-Men is the actors who are connected to those characters are very good. I agree. I mean, again, Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart is ancient. How many can he do? How many of these movies can he do? So you're relying on him, unless you're talking about what's his name, McDonald, who played the younger Xavier, and what's his name, the Irish dude who played Magneto. I don't know. Ian McKellen was, I thought, great, but I think these guys, are all are too old, and I think it's done. I think it's time to move into a new generation of actors playing this. It's almost as though they're playing it safe. I don't know. I'm nervous about it. The Fantastic Four, it seems they're going in a new direction. You probably heard that they're bringing in Pedro Pascal was in talks to play Reed Richards, which I loved. I thought that was great. Then I heard today they dropped. Oh no, that's not what I heard. That's all I heard so far. That's a good start, and I love Pedro Pascal. I think he'll do great as Reed Richards. Starting from scratch, right? But the X-Men, I don't know. I think they're going to screw up by doing this. I think they should leave the old well enough alone and move on to a new group of people. What do you think? I'd rather a fresh start. The Fox actors getting there in age. Nikki, is exactly what I say too. There's going to be a I think we get a few good movies out of them still, but yeah, man, it makes me very nervous. And again, and the X-Men, by the way, the X-Men universe we got was so inconsistent. There was no continuity. The continuity was all over the place, right? There was, it was things were happening all the movie. They didn't really care what happened or what came before. They would twist that continuity around to suit the current movie. They didn't care. It was very loose continuity, whereas the MCU is a little stronger. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. Frank says they need to get Mila Kunis into something. Why is that, Frank? You like that actress? Yeah, it's scary. Look, the X-Men books were really pumping there for a while there. The price of the books were going up. I'm talking about back issues now. I'm not talking about the new releases. I can't even speak to that because I have no idea how current X-Men titles are doing. But I know what well, for example, the one was it 130, the first Dazzler book. I mean that was pumping, and guys are still looking for that book. And the John Byrne X-Men runs, they've all kind of come down as well too, but they're really hot. They were hot there for a while. So there was real momentum there for these back issues, but everything is kind of clawing back now. Even talk of putting the Beast in this Marvels movie. People know we're going in that direction now. Did the first appearance of Binary go up? I don't think it did. Did it? Maybe I'm wrong. Everyone does. Yeah, I don't know. It's a scary thing. I don't think the X-Men from the Fox universe is what the MCU needs to put them back on top. I think it's a mistake to go with that. I hope they prove me wrong. They've had their run. It's a whole different universe, a whole different ball game. The only way I think I shouldn't say that. I guess they could have used them if they did something with the multiverse again, but they didn't. Maybe they will. I don't know. It just seems. I guess they could go and they could do something with this version of the X-Men, then again create a new version. I think they're going to reboot everything again. I'm hearing that that Robert Downey's already coming back, and I heard that who else? That Chris Evans is keen on coming back. Hemsworth's already, looking into Thor #5. So they're not letting this go, but they really need to do something about the writing. They really need to go back to basics, stop trying to shoehorn politics into their movies, and just tell a damn good story. I do agree with you on that, and casting accurately is important too. Yeah, agreed. I hope that they but you know what? Everyone was all freaked out when they gave Hugh Jackman the part. They're like, Hugh Jackman, who's that? Isn't that song and dance guy, that Broadway dude? And everybody was all freaking out. And he was fantastic, right? So it is what it is. What about the Fantastic Four? Yeah, they seem to be going in the right direction with that. I wish they would. They couldn't do it. You see, I think the problem was after the Avengers Endgame, Disney still did not have the rights for Fantastic Four and the X-Men. The Fox deal was there, but it wasn't done yet. And they couldn't jump in. And even when the deal was done, it was time before they could actually start doing Fantastic Four and X-Men movies. Of course, now they can. But they had to fill that gap. So what they did is they did Shang-Chi, and they did the Eternals, and they did, all these other Disney Plus shows and some really bad movies, and that's too bad. If they had see, they would have been better off to do nothing for 2 years. Nothing for 2 years. Brad Cost, these younger actors need to step up as well. A lot of bad acting. If Disney wants to push more strong female characters, the X-Men franchises are what young women identify with. Again, great point. I've heard that before. The mutants and the X-Men have tons of fantastic female characters you could really lean into. There's no need to take male characters and gender swap them. Just use actual female characters from the comics that already have been established. Why try to reinvent the wheel or take the wheel and turn it upside down and make it a hexagon? Why do that? It's silly. That's why I never understood that. It's not even the MCU, even beyond the X-Men, has a lot of female characters they could have played with, right? But they don't develop these characters. They don't do anything with them. Bad. If Disney wants, okay, we said that already. So Anyways, guys, it looks like they're leaning into the Fox X-Men. That is what I want to talk a bit about today, which we have done. I don't think it's a good idea to do this. I think it'd be a better idea to start fresh with new characters, or not new characters, but new actors playing these characters. But it seems like, at least for the next 3, 4, 5 years, we're going to see the likes of Patrick Stewart, the likes of Ian McKellen, some of those newer actors who came in and played, I don't know the actress's name who played Jean Grey from Game of Thrones. Maybe she'll come back, or some of these other actors are going to come back. I honestly don't know a lot of these young. James McDonald, right, who played the young. Brie Larson is out. She is. What, you want her ousted, or she is ousted from the MCU? God, poor Brie Larson, man. They could cast you as Puck from me. I think I'm a little too tall for that. Maybe. No, I was gonna say Sasquatch. I'm growing the beard for Sasquatch, right? No, Sophie Turner. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, say Sophie Turner, the young lady from Game of Thrones who played Phoenix. I blame Bob Chapek. He really pushed quantity over quality. He sure did. Probably the worst actress to ever be in an X-Men movie. Oh my God, it was so bad. I saw a bit of it the other night. Was, again, I forget her name. It might come to me. Oh, hold on. The actress who plays... Hold on, I'll tell you the actress's name in a sec. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Let me find... She was terrible. She's from Mad Men. The one who played the White Queen from Mad Men. She played John Draper's wife. Oh my God, she was terrible as the White Queen. She was so bad. It was laughably bad. And I don't know. Thank you. That Treasury Edition says January Jones. Yes, January Jones. Oh my God, that was probably the worst performance in an MCU movie, in a Marvel movie ever. She was terrible. Jessica Chastain was not great either. I am not a fan of Jessica Chastain. I kind of can't stand her, to be honest with you. I know she's an Academy Award winner now. I think she is anyway. I'm just not a fan of Jessica Chastain. Ever since, what was it she did that really bothered me? After the movie It came out, and the first It movie was fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it's great. And then the second It movie came out. Bill Hader was in there, and Jessica Chastain, Jim McDonald was in there as well, and then a few other names. And then, of course, Jessica Chastain, after she saw the first It movie, was really pushing to get the young ladies with the red hairs character, and she pushed and she got it. She was a bigger name, and she got it. I can't stand her. There's something about her I just don't like. I don't know what it is. It's not unattractive or anything. I just don't. Something about her energy. I find she just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, how did she? Someone really pushed for her to make it, because she just came from out of nowhere. I feel not a fan of hers at all, and yeah. What movie was really good, guys? I'm going totally off topic now. As I said, the second It movie stunk. It wasn't very good at all. And another movie that came out, a horror film that came out around the same time as that, was another sequel, Dr. Sleep, the second Shining film with Ewan McGregor. Holy cow. That movie was fantastic. It was great. And it bombed. It didn't do well at all. And it's dark and it's good. I don't want to give anything away. If you're a fan of The Shining, you need to watch Dr. Sleep. It was really, really quite good. But the It film kind of overshadowed it, unfortunately, because the It movie blew. Anyways, guys, if you're getting here after the chat, what do you think? Will the X-Men in any iteration, whether it be the Fox X-Men we already know, or a new X-Men team with new actors, is that what it's going to take to bring the MCU back? Or is it too far gone already? Are we already out of luck? Did they shoot themselves in the foot over and over and over again now, that we're not going to go back for more? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you think. Again, like I said, I think it's done. I think if they go back with this old X-Men team, I think it's just, we're in the end. We're in the end times. We're in the end days. The end game, as Doctor Strange would say. What role could Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio play in the MCU? I love both of them. I don't think DiCaprio would ever play a role in the MCU. I think Brad Pitt might. What's his name? I'd love to see Brad Pitt in there because I love Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt's one of my favorite actors. I don't know. In the MCU? He's getting older now. The Vanisher in Deadpool. That's right. He did that, didn't he? Yeah. See, Dave saying Stephen Yeun is Sentry. I could see Brad Pitt as Sentry, right? And someone came on here. Oh, what's going on here? Someone said that Dave Yeun's too small to play Sentry, but then someone said in the comics, I don't know the Sentry origin story all that well, but said that he was very scrawny and small. But you know what? They could always do CGI on Brad Pitt because remember that Benjamin Buttons movie he did, right? He looked awesome in that, de-aging, backwards there. But yeah, Sentry. I could see Brad Pitt as Sentry. Brad Pitt as Doctor Doom, maybe, if he could pull off a good accent, a Latvian accent. What about in DCU? He'd probably be a pretty good. Brad Pitt would be he's too old now, I think, but he'd probably be a pretty good. I was gonna say Hawkeye, a Green Arrow maybe or something like that. And Taylor Swift, yeah, we'll see. I'm losing confidence that Disney and the powers that be will not produce anything near Civil War or Infinity War. Well, right now they're not. But they should tap those writers on the shoulder again and tap those directors on the shoulder again and say, let's go, guys. Let's get back to work. I don't know if I like Pitt as Professor X. Could he do it? Sure he could. I guess he could do it. I think he's too. I don't know. I could see him more as a Magneto than Professor X. I think. Again, I don't know. He'd be. I would love to see him. I think a lot of actors might stay away from the MCU right now. It's just gone downhill so bad. I don't want to start talking about diversity and all that sort of thing. I mean, the Marvels movie had a Black American director, and she was, it was fine. I mean, she's directing a movie that's decent, but it wasn't fantastic. And she made some choices that were really poor choices, man. Like, what are you doing to these characters? What are you doing to these characters? But maybe these directors are given too much freedom too, right? Like Taika Waititi, man, what he did with friggin' Love and Thunder was a friggin' joke. I absolutely hated Love and Thunder. Hated it. I was getting mad at the friggin' screen. I was so pissed off at that movie. Anyways, I don't want to get upset before I go to bed or I won't sleep well. Guys, listen, thanks so much. That's it for me. I'll be back next Monday. Sorry, Tuesday. Oh my gosh. I'll be back next Tuesday for another one. More boxes are on the way back from CGC as we speak. I'll get these books sorted over the next few days and let everybody know whose books are whose. And again, if you're in the Oshawa area over the next over the weekend on Saturday, come on by the shop for our Black Friday event. I'm going to everything in the shop up to 50%, not everything, every 50% off, but I'm going to have some, my bargain bins will be 50% off, and I'll have some other areas with different percentages off. I am loading the place up with some really cool vintage toys too. If you're looking for something to display with your comic books, I've got a lot of Mego figures there now. I've got some Superpowers figures there now from the 1980s. They're really cool. I've got some carded ones that aren't cheap, but they're pretty cool. I even got a few Star Wars carded figures coming in as well. Those, along with some new statues going up if you want to come and check that out. It's really nice. A sideshow statue. Everything will be on sale in my shop, and even up in Charlo's shop, up in the comic loft. We're having sales up there as well too. So if you're in around the area, Oshawa area, on Saturday between 11 and 4 p.m., we'll be there. Also, if you have books that you want to submit for pressing, 10% off all pressing, whatever you submit on Saturday. 10% off. If you can't make it and you want to take advantage of that Black Friday sale, just fill out your form on November the 25th and jot down, print it out, and put Black Friday on it when you submit your books. Again, the book's got to come within a reasonable amount of time. I'll honor that and give you that 10% off, okay? So hope to see you there. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you next Tuesday right here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Comic Doctor YouTube channel. Have a great night, guys. All the best. Bye for now. Looking for my end thumbnail. There it is. Good night.